Today, we will look at the structure and the pattern of economic growth in India. We will be analyzing the data from 1950s onward, and then we will see what changed in the sectoral composition, both in terms of growth and employment. When we look at the key data of the economy, so in the year 1972 to 1983, between this time span, GDP was growing at 4.7%, but the employment growth rate was 2.4%. Now, in the next year from 1983 to 1993, GDP was growing at 5%, but employment was growing at only 2%. Then in 2004 to 2011, GDP was growing at 8.5%, but employment growth rate was only 0.5%. If you closely look at this data, you can see that the GDP growth rate was increasing from 1972 onwards, but the employment growth rate was falling, and this particular phenomena is known as jobless growth, because it implies that when your GDP is growing, so your economy is growing at a wonderful rate, but the employment growth rate is not actually picking up. So on one hand, your GDP is growing, but on the other hand, your employment growth rate is falling. Such a type of phenomena is known as jobless growth. And this type of phenomena is something which have prevailed in India, and India has also experienced, and till now we are experiencing this phenomena of jobless growth, where adequate jobs are not created despite the fact that economic growth is taking place. Another important thing is about employment elasticity. The employment elasticity indicates the ability of the economy to generate employment opportunities. It can be calculated by dividing percentage change in employment to 1% change in economic growth. So when 1% change in economic growth take place, how much change in employment generation take place? This gives us the employment elasticity, and when this is applied in case of India, the employment elasticity of India declined from 0.52 in 1972 to 0.04 in 2012, which indicated that the structure and pattern of growth in some way has boosted the economic growth, but on the other hand, it has led to creation of lesser jobs. The structural facets of the economy of India, we can see that a trend reversal has taken place, wherein the contribution of the service sector, which was lowest in 1950, has exponentially grown, and today it contributes majority, that is, it contributes more than 50% to the gross value addition of the country. So first will be change in sectoral distribution. Sectoral contribution of various sectors to GDP has changed post 1970s. Thus, it is said that sectoral reversal took place. In 2018, service sector contributed more than 55% to gross value addition, whereas industries contributed 32% and agriculture contributed 13%. The share of the agriculture and allied sector to the gross value addition has consistently declined from the past 2 to 3 years. So it is often said that the pattern of contribution by various sectors have reversed if we compare this data with the contribution by these sectors in the year 1950, because at the time when India got independence, the share or the contribution of agriculture sector in the economy was 53%, followed by industry, which was 16%, and service sector, which was 30%. So you can see that the dominant service sector is playing in the economy. But one crucial thing is that despite the fact that agriculture contributes very minimal to the gross value addition, but with respect to share in the employment, it actually tops, because if we look at the second component, which is sectoral contribution to employment, here you can see that sectoral contribution changed as employment in the industrial and service sector increased and grew over time, and in agriculture sector it declined, but agriculture still contributes more than 45% to employment, followed by industry, which has 25% share, and service sector, which has 30% share. Despite the fact that agriculture's contribution to GVA has fallen, the same fall has not been registered in case of employment, and so agriculture is still a major player in the employment sector in the economy. Moving to third basic thing, which is growth of basic capital industry. You might have read about Mahalanobis model of growth, a PC Mahalanobis model of growth, and recently an article was also shared regarding the PC Mahalanobis and the contribution which were given in the field of economics and especially the Indian planning. During independence, the share of basic good industry in the total industrial production of the country stood at 1/4. From the second 5-year plan, the focus was more on heavy industries so that a base can be developed which produced raw material, equipment needed for domestic growth. Thus, the main aim was you develop a heavy industry in the country so that raw material and equipment which are needed for the domestic growth can be domestically produced, and the policy of import substitution was actually focused on. And this all was under the Mahalanobis model of growth. In 1991, the reform period was there and India adopted LPG policy, which is liberalization, privatization and globalization. And according to this policy, a number of measures were taken. For instance, delicensing was there, FDI was allowed, private sector participation was enhanced, and various other avenues were opened so that the investment in the domestic economy can actually be boosted. Thus, in a nutshell, it is often said that the 1991 reforms actually opened up the India's economy. So these were the structural facets of the Indian economy. Fourth one will be the social overhead capital. Now, we have seen that over the planning period, greater impetus was also given on expanding the social capital or expansion of social overhead capital. So, what is the social overhead capital? These are those things or those capital or those infrastructure services which are actually needed for inducing industrial development and to improve the standard of living of people. Roadways, railways, schools, hospitals all come under social overhead capital. Investment in social overhead capital has increased gradually over the year. Roadways, railways, ports attracted FDI inflow as well, and we see that a number of ports and roadways projects are being implemented in a joint venture under public-private partnership. The total road length of the country is now more than 50 lakh kilometers, and the year 2018 was also declared as the year of highways because more than 1,50,000 crore were spent on construction of roadways. With respect to roadways and railways, modernization was about, and healthcare facilities were also expanded because these are basic impetus or basic things which are required to induce development and to attract industrialization or to induce industrialization. Investment in infrastructure projects led to development of allied industries and expansion in trade. Because we know that roadways and railways are the chief link of communication, they also reduce the cost of transportation. And so, when these infrastructure projects are expanded, the allied industry starts setting up, and thus trade and commerce expand. Roadways and railways also link the trading centers with the port cities, which further ensures that the movement of goods takes place in a lesser time. With respect to education sector, the greater impetus was given on developing the education sector in such a way that the skilled workforce can be provided to the country and industrialization can be boosted. And so we have seen that the software boom started, and India at that time had sufficient skilled workforce, and today as well, a number of Indians work in foreign countries as well. This all was because of the reforms which were taken in education sector so that a skilled workforce can be provided to India and the industries. Now, let us look at few of the practice questions. First one is, which sector has higher share in gross value addition? Here I am talking about GVA addition. I am not talking about the contribution to employment. So, the answer will be service sector, and we have seen that it contributes more than 55%, whereas agriculture sector only contributes between 13 to 15%. The second question is, which of the following option is incorrect with reference to the 1991 LPG reforms, which were liberalization, privatization and globalization. Here we are looking at, out of these four options, which one is incorrect. Option number second, which is extending the license Raj and permit system, is the incorrect option because delicensing was done in the 1991 reforms. So rest 1, 3 and 4 option are correct and option second is wrong.